The Protista kingdom is the group with all of the organisms that don't fit into another group. When they were proposed in 1866 by Ernst Haeckel, people thought it was a type of alien matter. Many have characteristics similar to other kingdoms but lack specific elements to put them in that group. The kingdom consists of protists, which are mostly single-celled organisms such as the protozoa, simple algae, slime molds, and formerly the bacteria. There are many phyla to this group, but we will only talk about the main three subdivisions.
The Protista kingdom consists of eukaryotic creatures. This means that their DNA is enclosed by a nucleus inside the cell. Scientists believe that protists paved the way for the evolution of early plants, animals, and fungi because they appear as if they were other kingdoms but are not categorized the same way. Protists are subdivided by the three general subgroups: plant-like, animal-like, and fungus-like. Within these subgroups are many phyla. Plant-like protists are autotrophic, so they use photosynthesis to make their own food. They are food sources in the water's ecosystem. Animal-like protists are referred to as protozoa, with 4 phyla that are determined by how they move, from temporary feet to propeller motion, cilia, or no movement at all. Finally, there are fungus-like protists. These protists live in water or wet environments. Fungus-like protists consume food from dead organic matter and move around using their false feet like the protists in the animal-like subgroup. All the subgroups get their name from because they act like another kingdom, just lack the quality that all of the larger kingdom has.
Examples of the Protista kingdom are kelp and slime molds. Kelp or seaweed is an odd example of a protist because it has more than one cell, which is a violation because most protists are unicellular. They still fit into this category because the protist consists of the organisms that don't fit anywhere. Kelp resembles a plant but is actually a protist because its cells are not as complex as plant cells. Although kelp is complex on the outside and has structure on the inside, it does not contain more than one tissue type, which is what makes it a protist and not a plant. Slime molds, specifically the dog vomit slime mold, fit into this category too because although the name suggests that they are molds, they are actually not. Molds are fungi, but slime molds lack some of the characteristics of fungi, including the fact that they actually can move and they don't have chitin, which forms the shell of the fungi in their cell walls.
The 3 subgroups of the Protista kingdom are plant-like, animal-like, and fungus-like groups, with many phyla split among them. They differ from other kingdoms because they don't have the characteristics of other kingdoms. Protists are basically the rejected organisms of all other kingdoms.
Protists are generally unicellular organisms living in aquatic or moist environments. They can be heterotrophic or autotrophic. There are plant-like, animal-like, and fungus-like protists, but they all have some characteristics separating them from the other kingdoms.
An example of a protist is the dog vomit slime mold, and kelp are both examples of a protist. The slime mold is not a mold. It is a protist because it doesn't have the exoskeleton of a fungi. Kelp is an example of a protist, not a plant, because it lacks the complexity of plants.